Hi everyone, today we are on lesson 12.1 and we are going to learn about measurements. The question asks, how can you use benchmarks to understand the relative size of measurement units? So let's get started. The question in Unlocking the Problem says, Jake says the length of his bike is about 4 yards. Use the benchmark unit below to determine if Jake's statement is reasonable. 4 yards. So let's pull this out. This might help us. So 1 inch is about that first knuckle to the tip of your finger. That's about 1 inch. 1 foot is about the size of a license plate. I also think kind of from like your elbow when you bend your arm, that kink in your arm right there when you bend your elbow, from your elbow to about a little bit past your palm is about 1 foot. You can measure that tomorrow if you want, or if you're in class right now and you're listening to that, you can measure that right now. So depending if you're listening to this at home or in class, you can go get a ruler and measure. Put the ruler right in your elbow and see where it reaches in your hand. But that's going to be about 1 foot. A yard is about a baseball bat. And a baseball bat goes up to about your hip. So that would be a yard. And 1 mile is about a 20-minute walk. Walking, you can go about a mile in about 20 minutes. All right, so again, 1 inch is that little part of your finger. 1 foot is a license plate, or like again, I said, your elbow to about the end of the palm of your hand. A yard is going to be about to your hip, and a mile is going to be about a 20-minute walk. So a mile is pretty far. So let's look at what this says over here. And we want to know if Jake says the length of his bike is about 4 yards. Use the benchmark unit below to determine if Jake's statement is reasonable. A baseball bat is about 1 yard long. Since Jake's bike is shorter than 4 times the length of a baseball bat, his bike is shorter than 4 yards. So Jake's statement is reasonable or is not reasonable. Did you say is not? If you did, you are correct. Is not. Sorry, I have to squeeze it in there. Is not reasonable. Jake's bike is about blank baseball bats long. So it's a little more than 1, but it's not quite 2. So we'll say it's about 1 1/2 yards Jake's bat is about 1.5. I put yards just so you know, but Jake's bike is about 1 1/2 baseball bats long. Again, the baseball bats goes with the yards. All right, let's look at the next one. Use the benchmark customary units. 1 cup equals 8 fluent ounces. 1 pint, right there. 1 quart. 1/2 gallon of milk. Remember, a whole gallon, you've all seen a whole gallon. 1/2 gallon is a smaller gallon. A pint is what sometimes creamers come in. A quart is in between. And 8 fluid ounces is like the measuring cup. 1 cup, a measuring cup. About how much liquid is in a mug of hot chocolate? So like a coffee mug. How much is in that? Would it be a cup, a pint, a quart, a half gallon, or a gallon? Which one would you guess? Rule out ones that you don't think it could be. Like if you don't think it could be a gallon, a coffee mug, do you think that's what your hot chocolate would go in? Like a coffee mug. Would that be a gallon? Mm-mm. Would it be half of a gallon? A half gallon? So now you're left with 3. I always like to do that. I like to rule out ones I know it can't be. Did you say about 1? One. What is it? Cup. If you said 1 cup, you are correct. Nice job. All right, next one. Customary weights. So that's volume. That means like liquid right here. We just did, this one was length, how long something is. Then we just did liquid volume. So liquid, water, milk, any of that kind of stuff, anything that's liquid. Now we're going to do weights, how much something weighs. So 1 ounce is about a pencil. A pound of bread, about a loaf of bread is about a pound. So a whole loaf that you get at the grocery store would be about a pound. A ton, 1 ton, is about a small car. So think about that. An ounce is a pencil. A loaf of bread is about a pound, and a car is about a ton. About how much does a grapefruit weigh? A grapefruit. Well, which one could you rule out already? Does a grapefruit is a little bit bigger than an orange. Grapefruits would be about what? Well, you know it couldn't be a car, right? So let's get rid of that one. Can't be the car. Wrong. So it's going to be about a pound, which is a loaf of bread, or about an ounce, which is like a pencil. It's going to be about 1, wait for it, pound. Is that what you guessed? Nice job. 1 grapefruit weighs about a pound, about the size of a loaf of bread. As heavy as a loaf of bread, I should say. All right, let's go to the next one. A kilometer is a metric unit for measuring length or distance. The benchmark shows the distance that you can walk in about 10 minutes. So, millimeter, these are metric units. The other ones are called, let's go back, customary units. So again, we're measuring length here, and we're also measuring length here. We're just doing it with different measurements. This is metric. So about 1 millimeter is that little small right there. That's it, just a smidge. Just so little. 1 centimeter is the length of your finger right there. Right here. Right across your finger. So, very small right there. This one's very, very small right there. That's a millimeter. Centimeter is about how big your finger is across. Decimeter is about the width of from your thumb to the end of your pinky finger right there, your palm. 1 meter is the width of the door right there, the door frame. A kilometer is about 10 minutes walking. Okay? So, is the length of your classroom greater or less than 1 kilometer? Does it take you 10 minutes to walk around your classroom? 10 minutes, that's 1 kilometer. What do you think? If you said less, you are correct. Let me write less. Ooh, my S's are so not good. Sorry. I hope your writing is a lot better than mine. All right, let's pull out the next one. Volume. So we have metric units in length. Now we have metric units in volume. Remember right here we had our customary. Cup, pint, quart, gallon, half gallon. I'm sorry, half gallon, gallon. Volume measures liquid. So we have a milliliter and we have a liter. So about how much medicine is usually in a medicine bottle? So a medicine bottle, like if you get sick and you have to take medicine, liquid medicine, how much medicine is in that? About 120, would it be 120 milliliters or would it be 120, I'm sorry, yes, 120 liters. 120 milliliters or 120 liters? If you said milliliters, you are correct. Let's see if I can type this one because this one's a little longer. So, oh, I just misspelled it. All right, milliliters. Oh, totally messed it up. Let's fix it. There you go, milliliters. All right, good so far. Let's do one last one. Mass, how heavy something is. So, when you're measuring mass in metric, about a gram, 1 gram is about how heavy a dollar bill is, so not very heavy. A baseball bat is about 1 kilogram. About how much is the mass of a paper clip? A paper clip. How much mass do you think that would be? Would a paper clip weigh as much as a baseball bat? Or would a paper clip weigh as much as a dollar bill? All right, if you said about as much as a dollar bill, it would be correct. So it's about a gram. Let's go back and look what we've done so far today. So what we've done today was we looked at using benchmarks. We figured out how we can relate things to what we're weighing or what we're using for liquid or how far we're traveling, measuring the distance. So we looked at customary lengths, units of length. Here's your customary units of length. We looked at customary units of liquid volume, right here. Weight, right there. And then we also looked at the metric system. And we looked at metrics in length, metric units for liquid volume, and also in also in mass. If you have any questions about any of this, you let me know. Talk to you later. Bye, everyone.